Ruy Lopez opening, Morphy defense, Smyslov-Breyer-Zaitsev hybrid system. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. The middle game battle was fairly even. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. A typical answer is e5, which builds a position in the middle, controls d4, and frees up the queen and bishop on the dark square. The move nf3 advances the knight toward the center, engages the e5 piece in combat, and sets up a castle. nc6 defends the pawn on e5, advances the knight toward the center, and scans the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. a6 forces the bishop to decide, exchange or retreat. ba4 safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. nf6 attacks the undefended e4 pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the rook to e1. b7 develops the dark squared bishop and prepares to castle. 1 rupee centralizes the rook and protects the e4 pawn. b5 gains space on the queen side and forces the bishop to the b3 square. bb3 is forced, but the bishop is well placed because it attacks the f7 square. d6 defends the e5 pawn and allows the light squared bishop to develop. c3 prepares the d2-d4 pawn break and clears the c2 square for the light squared bishop. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. h3 prevents black from developing the light squared bishop to g4, which would pin the knight and make it hard for white to play d4. Fianchetto move bb7 places the bishop on the long diagonal. d4 gains space in the center, allows the dark squared bishop to develop and attacks the e5 pawn. Re8 puts the rook on a central file and vacates the f8 square for the bishop. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. Game's master. It is the final book action. That's a decent move. That's good. Now that the rooks can see one another, they can defend one another. That's good. That's an unfortunate error. It is a mistake. This threatens to win a pawn. This allows the opponent to kick a knight. It is an inaccuracy. This kicks an opposing knight. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. The knight is now on a square that is more secure. It is ideal. This misses a much better move. It is a mistake. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. This defends the pawn that was attacked. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. There was only one good move in that position. It is a mistake. This permits the opponent to create a passed pawn. It is a miss. This misses an opportunity to create a passed pawn. It is a misbalanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. The middle game battle was fairly even. This misses a great but hard to find move. This permits the opponent to fork pieces. It is an inaccuracy. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. The middle game battle was fairly even.